What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's Jesse. Alright, guys. Today we're doing more. We're reacting to more scary stories on TikTok, guys. I love doing these videos because I think it's cool and stuff like that. Also, guys, like you can see, I'm tired. I started my new job. I actually work at Amazon now. So, guys, tell me, guys, if you guys have a package coming, then I'll see if I could. I don't know, do to, what's the number do is I sort them out and put it for the driver to put it in his car and to take it out. But that's not a night shift, so I'm tired. Alright, guys, yeah, we're reacting to some of the scary stories on TikTok. So if I can relax, guys, let's get to it.
Spooky story time. A follower that wants to remain anonymous sent me this story, and we're gonna call it "The Girl in the Corner." For the sake of the story, we're gonna call her Allie. Allie says that when she was about 7 years old, her and her family moved into this beautiful home. She was so excited. This was their dream house. She did say that this house was brand new. Allie says that she was so excited to pick her room, and she picked the very first room right at the start of the hallway. In the beginning, everything was fine, and she said that after a while, she would get this heavy, eerie feeling coming from her room. She told her parents, like always, they brushed it off because it was a brand new house. They're like, it's new, you have to get used to it, we're just being paranoid. Allie says that the feeling got so dark that she couldn't even sleep in her room at all, and she was specifically scared of this corner in her room. She says that she was so scared of it, she wouldn't even look at it, she wouldn't even walk near it, she would just avoid that area of her room altogether. Allie says that she did get a Ouija board to try to figure out what was going on in her room. She knows it was dumb, but nothing came of it. Allie says that one day she was walking past her bedroom to go to the restroom, and she even heard the words, "Get out." She did say that she never saw an actual apparition, like a ghost or anything like that, but she would see shadows. Somehow her parents got a hold of a medium, and that medium told her that there was a little girl standing in the corner of her bedroom wearing a white dress and had long black hair. Allie did say that this spirit was very mischievous. She says that it was constantly banging on things and opening and closing dresser drawers, would even mess with her mom, tug on her shirt, and pull her hair. They did stay in this house for 2 years, and they ended up leaving. They left because this spirit was always messing with them. They literally couldn't handle it anymore. After they left and sold their house, they did a little bit of digging, and it comes to find out that that house was built on an unmarked cemetery. Damn. I'm sure that they are so glad to leave that house because they were only there for 2 years. This had already started. I'm sure with time, more stuff would have started happening.
Guys, that was a good one, guys. Yeah, comment down below if you guys ever seen a thing apparition or something, or if you guys just like heard of no ghost. Comment down below if you heard or seen a ghost. I felt a ghost, me and my nephew, but I don't know if he remembers. I have to tell him about it. I said a story a long time ago, not a long time ago, but it was my brother Eric. There's a camera person. Me and my nephew, we're all there, and we heard the voices talking in one of the rooms in the back because we had a blackout, so it was just in the dark. Then my brother Eric and the camera person wanted to go say check on it. Then me and my nephew, we got up and we stood behind the couch because it was a weird house. Then we were standing there, and we felt a big gust of air, like right past us. I still remember how I felt today. It was like a big gust of wind. It flew right past us. Then we got scared and we ran to my mom's room. Then a lot of hot stuff happened in the house. Comment down below if you guys want a story time. Alright, guys, let's get into this next one.
A ghost story that sounds completely unbelievable but is entirely true.
Okay, I have video footage of this. I will share it at the end. Nobody thinks it's real. Like, it seems like it's doctored footage, but it's not. I swear on my life. Basically, both my sister and my old roommate used to work at this like music school daycare center for kids in the Upper East Side. The music classes would happen upstairs, but downstairs in the basement there was this like daycare situation, and you had to work down there. And they both hated being down there. And I'd been down there a few times too. It is really scary. Like, you know when you just get a feeling about a place? Like, that is the basement. It was horrible. They would both, like, hear voices when their co-teacher hadn't showed up yet. Or, like, the cleaner would go downstairs and all the toys would be arranged in, like, a circle. And she'd be, like, in tears being like, are you guys playing a prank on me? I seriously, like, I don't feel safe here. The kids would all say really creepy shit. Like, they'd say, like, there's a really, like, mean guy in, like, the tunnel, like, a little play tunnel thing, or, like, there's, like, someone mean over in, like, the dark corner of the basement. So when COVID hit, obviously no one was going into the daycare. It essentially shut down. But the owners installed cameras just in case, like, anything happened while they weren't there. And it picked up the most insane shit ever. It's a minute and a half long, so here you go.
Let's see. What the? What the heck? It's moving by itself. What the heck? Damn. It's working hella hard. What the heck? Okay, so stop. What the heck is that? Damn, the girl has receipts. Someone walking, huh? Saying someone walking. Oh, what the heck? Dude, you guys think it's a kid ghost that was playing with toys? Damn, guys, that was a good one, guys. She actually had the proof and everything. Damn, guys, you gotta be careful out here, especially with these kid ghosts, because guys, don't trust kid ghosts, because it could be something. It pretends to be a kid, but it's not really a kid. Well, guys, she actually had the proof and everything, guys. That was a dope video. Guys, let's get into this next one.
Tell me a ghost story that sounds
guys, look at Miss Her again.
Entirely true. I'll go first.
So I'll go next. We bought our house 23 years ago as a new build in a development on an old potato farm. So we were the first family to own and live in the house. At first, everything seemed normal and we settled in pretty quickly. After the first few years though, some random odd things started happening. Electronics would beep, radio would turn on by itself, lights would go on and off randomly. So many little things like that started happening on occasion that I started writing things down in a notebook just to keep track of it all. For example, one night when everyone was in bed except for me, I was downstairs watching TV by myself. All of a sudden, the volume on the TV skyrocketed from where I had it at level 8 to level 52.
Damn,
so I thought I sat on the remote, or maybe the dog stepped on it or something, but the remote was on the coffee table in front of me. So I tried to turn the volume down with the remote, but it wouldn't work. Then I got up and I tried the buttons on the TV. That didn't work either. The TV wouldn't even turn off. So I had to get my husband out of bed to help me pull the TV away from the wall and unplug it to finally get it to stop. When we plugged it back in to see what the problem was, it was back at its original level 8 where I had it to begin with. So we couldn't figure that one out. We had the TV for another few years and never had that problem again. Then not too long after that, one day while I was home alone and my kids were at school, my husband was at work, I went to take the trash out. I got about 2 feet from the door where I was taking the garbage out, and right by my head I heard this loud, low, gravelly groan. I didn't even know what chills down your spine meant until that moment, and I got chills from my head all the way down my spine and completely froze in my spot. It was so creepy. Then I thought, well, maybe I just stepped weird. I'm going to try to replicate it. So I was stepping on the wood floor, thinking maybe that was it, but I couldn't repeat the sound. And especially, the creaking wood floor didn't make the same sound as the sound that was literally right by my head. So that freaked me out. After that, not too long after that, we started to remodel our basement and things really started to pick up. Things got weird. So if you want to hear more about that, give me a comment down below, follow, and I'll have more episodes. Because there's a lot more to talk about.
I want more episodes. Guys, go to her TikTok, say, hey, I want to hear more. Hey, that's the most, 1.4 million views? Okay. Hey guys, I'm gonna be on her TikTok, or I'll wait till the next one to hear more. But that, guys, that's scary. I don't know, a haunted house on a farm is seems like hella scary, because there's no one to help you. If you get in trouble, like something happens, then you run outside, you run to your areas or something, you have to run far. No, I will not live in a haunted farm. It will be scary as fuck. I'll be scared too. Nah. Alright guys, let's get into this next one.
This spooky story submission is actually so terrifying that it led to the person who was telling me the story to end up in the hospital because of this. So for the story, we're going to call her Danielle, and I'm going to tag her below. We're calling her Danielle because that's what her childhood friends and her family used to call her. So until Danielle was about 14 or 15 years old, she lived on 78 acres of land. She said that in that 78 acres of land, only about 3 other people lived on that land. So it was a pretty secluded area, and Danielle really liked to play outside. That was her favorite thing to do. She loved watching the deers, the rabbits, but her favorite was climbing trees. Something that really bothered her, though, is that her mother would never let her play outside after dark, and we're talking not even after the sunset. As the sun started setting. She didn't like this, but she obviously obeyed it because it was her mother, and so she had to. Until one day, her mother decides that she is going to go out to a friend's house, and Danielle doesn't want to go with her. But if Danielle doesn't go with her, it means that she's going to be left alone. Her and her mother decide that this is okay and that Danielle is old enough to handle this, so she stays home alone, and her mom leaves at about 3 p.m. Danielle decides that she's going to go outside and she's going to play in the woods. She said that she was outside climbing trees when she felt this overwhelming feeling of being watched. It was overwhelming, and it felt like it was coming from above her. But she keeps looking up, and she's not seeing anything, so she's thinking that maybe her mind's just playing tricks on her, and she kind of shrugs it off. At some point, it starts to get dark, and she knows that she's supposed to go home, but she doesn't want to go home, and she's home alone, so she can do what she wants. So she decides that she's going to stay outside. At around 7:30 p.m., when the sun had already set, she starts hearing a noise, and it's her mother calling her name. She's calling for her to come home. So Danielle is like, oh crap, I gotta get home. So she starts walking home, but she still has this overwhelming feeling of being watched. When all of a sudden, she starts hearing twigs and leaves snapping behind her. So she looks behind her, but she doesn't see anything. She finally gets home, and she realizes that her mom is not home. So while she's outside, she calls her mom, and she's like, Mom, were you home? I just heard you calling my name. And her mom was like, I have not been home this entire time. I'm still at my friend's house. She said this really freaked her out, and she decided to turn around and look in the woods, and she looked over, and she sees a dark figure standing outside in the woods. This freaks her out, so she runs inside, she slams the door, and she deadbolts it shut. She then goes over to the window, and she looks outside of her blinds to see if it's still there, and of course, it is not there. She again decides that she's going to shrug this off. Maybe her eyes are just playing tricks on her, and she decides to make dinner. This feeling of being watched, this overwhelming feeling, follows her until the morning. And she said that she didn't feel like she was being watched by one thing. She felt like she was being watched by several things. She decides to go to her camera because they have cameras in the house, and there's a new video popped up, and I'm assuming that they were motion censored. She didn't say in the email, but she did say that there was a new video, so she looks at it, and she doesn't see anything, but she hears this tapping sound on their front door. It's important to note right now that their front door is a big metal door that her mom had put in when they very first moved in. Nothing is on the camera. She cannot see anything, so she decides that she's going to go outside, and she's going to look at the door. Outside on the door, there are huge claw marks on this metal big door. She said that she then realized that this could not have been an animal, because if it was an animal, number one, why is it trying to get into her house? And number two, how could it make these claw marks on this big metal door her mom had installed? So this really freaked her out, so I think her way of just coping with things was just shrugging it off. So she does just that, and she goes out in the woods again, and around 7:50 p.m. she's playing in the tree, climbing it again, and she gets that overwhelming feeling again. This feeling again is feeling like it's coming from above. So she decides to look above her again, and what she saw was terrifying. She said that she looked up, and when she looked up, she saw the most figure she had ever seen in her life looking at her. Not only was it looking at her, but it was calling her name, her real name, not Danielle, her real name. But not only was it calling her name, it was in her mother's voice again. Danielle is absolutely terrified at this, and she starts bolting home, and the entire time she's running home, she can hear this thing running after her. She calls her mother on her way home, and she was absolutely bawling her eyes out. Her mom gets home and she assures her that it's nothing and that everything is going to be okay and that it's not a big deal and that she was probably just seeing things. Danielle did say that this experience was so distraught to her and scared her so badly that she actually ended up being hospitalized for 2 or 3 months because of it. She said she couldn't eat, sleep, drink, nothing. The crazy thing about this is that this is not even the only thing that happened to Danielle. Something else happened to her that even traumatized her further. This is getting really long, so I'm gonna have to make a part 2 on it. If you guys want to hear that second part, that partly also contributed to her being in the hospital, then drop it in the comments and I will make a part 2 and tell you guys that story. That story is even scarier. So
guys, down. Yeah, I'll probably hella scared. See, that's why that the mom didn't want her to be out in the woods that late. So what did mom say about the door, guys? We need a part 2. Guys, comment down below for part 2, guys. I think it was a demon chasing her. That being chased, or no, that's not my cup of tea. But alright, guys, I think that'll do for today's video, guys. If you guys still enjoyed this video, make sure you guys like, share, comment, and subscribe. Comment down below what do you guys want to see me and Luis do for our next video. You want to see more challenges, a mukbang, or something, guys? Guys, comment down below. But they'll do it all for today's video, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out, guys.